Hi, my dear students. Good afternoon to each and everyone. And I am also welcoming you once again to the business regulation classes. Yesterday class, we are discussing about the syllabus of the business regulation. Each and every syllabus, each and every unit, we are discussing in brief. So now we are moving on the next, the most important unit one. So what is the unit one here? Introduction to business law. So what are the 5 units we have means? The first one is the introduction to business law. Second one is the contract law in that Indian Contract Act of 1872 and Indian Sale of Goods Act 1930. And the third chapter is competition and consumer laws. In that the first one is the Competition Act of 2002 and the Consumer Protection Act of 1986. And the next unit is economic laws. In that patent and FEMA is the most important acts. After that, the last unit is Environment Protection Act 1986. These are the 5 units we have in the subject of business regulation. In the subject of business regulation. So here, next we are moving on the first unit, introduction part. ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು 5 ಅಧ್ಯಾಯಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳ ಪರಿಚಯ. ಎರಡನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಒಂದು ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಗಳು. ಮೂರನೇದು ಪೈಪೋಟಿ ಮತ್ತು ಗ್ರಾಹಕ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಗಳು. ನಾಲ್ಕನೇದು ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳು. ಐದನೇದು ಪರಿಸರ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳು. So in the old syllabus, we have the unit called as Information Technology Act. This is excluded from the syllabus. If you see anywhere in some materials, you should skip that. Information Technology Act is not in syllabus. You should remember this. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೂಪರ್ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓನ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಹಾವ್ 5 units. ವಿ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್. ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್. And now we are moving on the most important concept and the first unit, introduction to the business law. ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳ ಪರಿಚಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹಾವ್ the first most importantly we should know what is meant by business and what is meant by law. So business regulations is nowadays a subject name. Before that, it is called as a business law. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಈ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ನೇಮ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಟ್ we have the name called as business law. Business law is the most important law or rules and regulations. It is particularly covering the all aspects of the business organization, that may be distribution, production, selling, manufacturing, financing, warehousing, transportation. Each and every activity is conducted under the concern of law or legal aspects. That is what we call as regulations. In simple term, we call it as a law. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳ ಪರಿಧಿಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ಕಾನೂನಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆ ಆದಂತಹ ದಾಸ್ತಾನುಗಾರಿಕೆ, ಸಾರಿಗೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ವಿನಿಮಯ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ವಿತರಣೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ಸಹ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಪರಿಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೈ ಲಾ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಲಾ. ಇಟ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ known term to us, known or familiar term to us, business. So in simple term, what is meant by business? Business is nothing but it is an economic activity we are conducting for the purpose of profit. Either it may be a trade, or it may be a business, or it may be industry, anything else. Sir, what is meant by law? So law is nothing but it is a rules and regulations. Law is nothing but it is a rules and regulation. Sir, we have constitution. In that constitution, So where it is? We doesn't know. So many days back, so many years, we are studying the constitution. Where is the word of the business law in the constitution? This is the most important aspect here. We should study about the legal rules and regulations of the nation. ಒಂದು ದೇಶದ ಒಂದು ನೀತಿ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲೀಗಲ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ here, entire legal rules will be divided into two types, that is the duties and criminal rules. That is what we call as civil rules and the criminal rules. So here criminal rules is totally dealing with the criminal activities. In the civil rules, we have the business rules and regulations. This is the major origin. So where we have to be introducing business rules and regulations in the constitution. First of all, we should know the meaning of business. First of all, we should know the meaning of business, ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಅರ್ಥ ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ. So it is a very simple meaning I have given. What is the simple meaning here? Business is an economic activity. It is heard in the first PUC. Business is an economic activity. So what is the non-economic activity? Service sector is the non-economic activity. So without expecting anything, it is called as non-economic activity. Business is an economic activity which is related with continuous and regular production and distribution of goods and services to satisfy the needs and wants of the human being. So this is the most important point here. So we should know that business is nothing but it is a commercial activity, it is an economic activity. Economic is nothing but the money. Money is very, very essential for us. Without money, so what we call as money or finance is the lifeblood of the business. So that's why business is an economic activity, keeps on it's continuously running the activities of production, distribution, manufacturing, warehousing of the goods and services to each and every needed people, so whom it is wanted. So this is what we called as the simple meaning tells us what is meant by business. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನು ನಾನಿಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇದೆ, ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಲಾಭದ ಮೂಲ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ, ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಲಾಭದ ಮೂಲ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಸಮಾಜದ ಜನರ ಬಯಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಈಡೇರಿಸೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, ತೃಪ್ತಿಪಡಿಸೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸರಕು ಮತ್ತು ಸೇವೆಗಳನ್ನ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ವಿತರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ವ್ಯವಹಾರ, ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಇದು ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿ ಅನದರ್ the meanings. So another similar meanings I have given here. In that a business is a complex field of commerce and industry in which goods and services are created, means produced and distributed in the hope of profit within a framework of law and regulation. This is the most important point here. This is the most important point here. Law and regulations. So if we are producing, we are distributing, we are selling each and every products by using the right methods, by using the right procedures, taking the proper well expertised employees and laborers to produce the products without any defects. So this is the major thing what we have to be conducting each and every activities. It is under the control of law and regulations. So many times, for example, ISI. What is meant by ISI? Indian Standard Institute. So they given the ISI mark to the products for the purpose of quality control. If any quality is not properly they given in the product, it will be rejected and it will be complained against the producer. So each and every possibility is under the law and regulation. If any defects is found, it will be punished by the it will be punished under the act and rules and regulations what we are prescribed. So this is what they are telling us. A business is nothing but it is a complex, means a difficult field of commerce. Why? Because so much of activities is included involved in the commerce and industry. So therefore, so it is each and every activity is conducted under the control, under the framework of law and regulations. So this is what we called as the meaning of the business. If you want to write the first meaning or the second meaning, your choice. After that, the next one is a most important one, a definition of the business. So Lewis Henry tells us one most important definition: a human activity directed towards producing or acquiring wealth through buying and selling of goods. This definition is given by Lewis Henry. So what he tells is, according to the Lewis Henry, human activity means human activities of anything producing or acquiring, either it may be a wealth or it may be a products by buying and selling. So this process is taken place in the activity of the business. So this is what we call as the business, in the sense of the business. So therefore, still when we are waking from morning to evening, so we are involving in the activities of either purchasing of the business or in the activity of the business. Therefore, business is very, very important to each and every person, and it needed to control the each and every activity of the business. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಉರ್ವಿಕ್ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಉರ್ವಿಕ್ ಅವರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಉದ್ಯಮ ಸಮಾಜದ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಹಾಗೂ ಬೆಲೆ ಪಾವತಿಸಲು ಒಪ್ಪುವಂತಹ ಸರಕು ಸೇವೆಗಳ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮತ್ತು ವಿತರಣೆಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾನ ಉರ್ವಿಕ್ ಅವರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸರಕು ಮತ್ತು ಸೇವೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ವಿತರಿಸಿ ಅದರಿಂದ ಲಾಭ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಇಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ these concepts, the meaning of the business and the definition of the business, both Kannada medium and English medium. After that, next we are moving on. The next concept here, a meaning and definition of law. This is the most important concept here, a meaning and definition of law. Here, ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾ, ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಅರ್ಥ ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಈಗ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸರ್ ಎರಡೂ ಒಂದೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಕವಾಗಿ ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋದಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುವಂತ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೈ ಲಾ? ಸರ್ ಇನ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಲಾ is nothing but regulations. Sir, in simple terms, sir, what is meant by law means? Sir, law is nothing but regulations, sir. Law is nothing but rules, sir. It must be followed by each and every citizen of India. Why? Because each and every law, where we are getting the law, law is under in the constitution. So based on the constitution laws we are following now, and it is very, very important. So regarding what? So we are studying now the business activities, how the law will be affected in the business activities. First of all, we should know the meaning of the law. Law refers to the principles and regulations established by the government. See, this is the important point. It is established by the government and applicable to people. So people, it will be applicable whether in the form of legislation or of custom or policies recognized and enforced by judicial decision. See, this is the meaning tells us How much important the law? Why? Because law refers to the principles and regulations. Who given this law? Government given this law. Either it may be a state government or it may be a central government. We don't know, either it may be a state government or it may be a central government. They given the rules and regulations in the legislation, and it will be enforced, means it will be implemented by the judicial decision. Means each and every judiciary, either it may be a state or it may be a district or it may be a taluk or it may be a village, is under the judicial control. So it will be all the citizens and all the people, they are under the law or rules and regulations prescribed by the government. So this is the meaning of the law. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಇದೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನ್ಯಾಯ ಎಂದ್ರೆ ಉತ್ತಮ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಜೀವನ ರೂಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ನಿಯಮ ಅಥವಾ ಕಟ್ಟುಪಾಡು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಉತ್ತಮ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಅತ್ಯುನ್ನತವಾಗಿ ಗೌರವಿತವಾಗಿ ಬಾಳೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ನೀತಿ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನ ರೂಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಕಟ್ಟುಪಾಡುಗಳನ್ನ ರೂಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಆದರ್ಶಗಳನ್ನ ರೂಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಹಿಯರ್ ಅನದರ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗಿವನ್ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಲಾ. Another meaning they are given the regarding the law. Here law means, another meaning they are given here, law is a system of rules that a society or government develops. See, the rules may be from the society or from the government. It is framed by the society or government. In certain cases, in the olden days, we don't have any government particularly. So we are under the slaves of the Anglo people, means the Britishers. Yes, after that, so we particularly framing one constitution. Is the father constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So they given the good rules and regulations, and they prepared the constitution, and according to their rules and regulation, each and everything will be deals. Either it may be a business agreements or it may be a social relationship. Each and everything we are following. Therefore, law is a very very important one here. This is the another meaning they given. If you want to write the first meaning, you should write or second meaning. After that, the next definition of the solvent. A definition of the solvent. So this definition of the solvent, solvent gives a definition. What is the definition? It's a law is nothing but it's a body or principles. It is identified or recognized and applied by the state in the administration of justice. See, each and every rules and regulations what we are framing, either it may be a state or it may be a central or it may be international standards, it will be applied for the purpose of administrative only. Why? Because India is a large country. So each and every activities is more. In that situation, administration takes place is a very, very difficult. So in that situation, it's a principles what we are identifying using for the purpose of controlling the administration. So that is what we call as law. So this definition is tells by the Solomon. Solomon gives this definition. After that, next one is ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ. ನ್ಯಾಯದ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ. ಎರಡು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇದು ಬಂದು ಆಸ್ಟಿನ್ ರವರ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ, ಎರಡನೇದು ಬಂದು ಸಾಲ್ಮನ್ ರವರ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ. ಆಸ್ಟಿನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಲ್ಮನ್ ರವರ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ. ಆಸ್ಟಿನ್ ರವರು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಸ್ಟಿನ್ ರವರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಪರಮಾಧಿಕಾರವನ್ನ ವಿಧಿಸಿ ಜಾರಿಗೊಳಿಸುವಂತಹ ನಡವಳಿಕೆಯ ನಿಯಮ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪರಮಾಧಿಕಾರವನ್ನ ವಿಧಿಸಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಆದೇಶವನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಪರಮಾಧಿಕಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಆದೇಶವನ್ನ ವಿಧಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ಜಾರಿಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ನಡವಳಿಕೆಯ ನಿಯಮ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜನ ಹೇಗೆ ನಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಇದರ ಒಂದು ಕಟ್ಟುಪಾಡುಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಲ್ಮನ್ ರವರು ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಾಲ್ಮನ್ ರವರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗ ನಿರ್ವಹಣೆಗಾಗಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿ ಜಾರಿಗೊಳಿಸುವಂತ ತತ್ವಗಳು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ನೀತಿ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವು ನೀತಿ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸರ್ಕಾರ ತಿರಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವು ನೀತಿ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾನ್ಯತೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಪುರಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಒಂದು ತತ್ವಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆಯನ್ನ ಸಾಲ್ಮನ್ ರವರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. And the next we are moving on, the next most important concept here, nature of law. This is the most important one here. ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಸ್ವರೂಪ. ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಸ್ವರೂಪ, the nature of the law. Law is universal. Law is applicable without any discrimination, without any race, without any gender, without any sex. It will be applicable universally. This is the most important point. Law is the continuous effort through a workable set of rules in this society. So this is the most important point we should keep in mind. It is not a pure science, it is changeable. Why? Because so year by year the situation of the society will be changes, the environment of the business will be changes, the people's feeling, thoughts, and taste and preferences will be differ. So in this situation, how we have to implement the particular rules? In the olden days we have sati sahagamana, it is a rule, so it will be destroyed. After that, so many blind beliefs and rules and regulations we are imposing in the olden days. Is it there in now? No, because the unchanging conditions, because of the changing conditions. So each and every situation, each and every political situations, and the human thoughts, beliefs, and their trends, fashions will be changing. Therefore, so law also changing, but it will be universally applicable to each and every person. So this is about the nature of the law. So the most important characteristics of the law is the first one. First one is the justice is an aim of the law. This is very, very important one. Justice, either they may be poor, or they may be rich, or they may be middle class people. So justice is very, very important. Why? Because rule is rule, rule for all. So this is the most important statement in the mind of the people. Any country. So justice is an aim of the law. So justice is always provided through law. The law means to provide the justice to people. Means here, this is the first characteristic. So what is the aim of what is the objective, what is the goal of the law is justice. ನ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನ ಒದಗಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ನ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನ ಒದಗಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದೇ ಅಂತಿಮವಾದಂತಹ ಗುರಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನ ಒದಗಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅಂತಿಮವಾದ ಗುರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನೋ ಅಂತಿಮವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಒಂದು ನೀತಿ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನ ದಾಟಬಾರದು, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಒಂದೇ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಉದ್ದೇಶವನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗ ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. And the second characteristic feature is create a peaceful and harmonious relationship between people living under the society. Law is made for keeping peace and harmonious relationship by providing this security. So this is the important characteristic feature of the law. In a country or in the society, each and every people, they feel secure to live. Without security, they don't know what happens in a situation. It's an uncertainty. Some more people, they are coming to rob us or harass us. So in that situation, there is no security. This feeling is very, very dangerous to the society. Because of the law, law creates a peaceful environment. If we have law means, if we have police station, if we have constitution, each and every people, they're afraid about the rules, they're afraid about the legal rules and regulations. In that situation, there is no insecure feeling in the minds of the people. They feel secure, and the peaceful conditions will be placed, and the Harmonious is nothing but coordination. Coordination is very, very important in the people. Law creating the coordination, law creating the peaceful environment. So therefore, this is the second characteristic feature of the ಲಾ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀತಿ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮನ್ವಯತೆಯನ್ನ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಶಾಂತಿಯನ್ನ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಭದ್ರತೆಯ ಭಾವವನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಹಾಕುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೋ, ಯಾರು ಕೊಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ, ದರೋಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ, ಸುಲಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ, ಇಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಅಭದ್ರತೆಯ ಭಾವವನ್ನ ಇದು ತೆಗೆದು ಹಾಕುತ್ತೆ. The next one is, the law is pervasive. Pervasive means it is applicable in all situations, universal applicable. Pervasive is nothing but universal applicable. So it is universally applicable. No person is exempt from the law. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇದು ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅನ್ವಯ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಇದರಿಂದ ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. And the next characteristic feature is it regulates the human activities. It regulates human behavior in three ways: prohibit, mandatory, permissive. Means it controls the human activities. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯರ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಣ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ತ್ರೀ ವೇಸ್: ಪ್ರಾಹಿಬಿಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಷೇಧ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ಅವನು ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಮ್ಯಾಂಡೇಟ್ರಿ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವನು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಅವನು ರಾಂಗ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ, ರಾಬರಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ, ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ, ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಸಿವ್, ಈಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಅನುಮತಿಯನ್ನ ಪಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. And the next characteristic feature is ignorance of law is not executed. If any people is ignoring the law, he must be punished. This is the another characteristic feature of the law. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾರೇ ಒಬ್ಬರು ನೀತಿ ನಿಯಮವನ್ನು ಉಲ್ಲಂಘನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. And the next one here, it is a set of rules which is set by the state, central and the international level. ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So it is a set of rules and regulation is prepared universally and to all the people. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ನೀತಿ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನ ಸಿದ್ಧಪಡಿಸಿರ್ತಾರೆ. And the next one here, it regulates the human conduct. Human conduct is nothing but human activities. So it regulates the human activities means each and every activity of the human, it will be observed, supervised. Why? Because each and every activity, for example, other cards, if any transaction, if any person is identified, so it is very, very helpful, the other cards. We are very easily identify the person. Why? Because we take on the retina and the fingers. So this is the most important point. After that, the next characteristic is it is created and maintained by the state. So each and every state is prescribed the special rules and regulations. Why? Because state to state, country to country is a diverse culture and having the different thoughts, taste and preferences and ideas. Therefore, so it is prepared and maintained by the state only. After that, the next one is it has the certain amount of stability, fixity and uniformity. So the law is the stable rules and regulation. It is a fixed rules and regulation and uniformly applied. These three characteristics is in the rule of each and every country. So this is the another nature of the law. After that, the next one here, it ensures all the people have specific power and responsibility. Only controlling is not the objective of the law. So law is given certain rules, law is given certain powers, law is given certain responsibilities, and they has their own rights. They has their own rights. So therefore, law creates the responsibilities and the rights and the coordination between the people also. ಈ ನ್ಯಾಯದಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೂ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೇವೆ, ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೇವೆ, ಅವ್ರದೇ ಆದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಹೊಣೆಗಾರಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಸಹ ನೀಡಿರ್ತೇವೆ. And the next one is, if we are violating the rules and regulations and the law, it will be punishable. ಏನಾದರೂ ನಾವು ಈ ನೀತಿ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನು ಉಲ್ಲಂಘನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಪನಿಷ್ ಆಗ್ಲೇಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದಂಡ ಮತ್ತು ಶಿಕ್ಷೆಗೆ ಅರ್ಹವಾಗಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So these are all the regarding the concept today. So what are the concept we are once again glancing? The first one is the meaning and definition of the business, ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಅರ್ಥ ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ. And the second one is meaning and definition of the law, ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಅರ್ಥ ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ. And the third one is, and the nature of the law, ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಸ್ವರೂಪ.